Luka Dončić had just finished one of the toughest NBA seasons of his career. His team was out, his body was tired, and his mind needed a break. So he packed his bags and flew to Brazil for a short vacation. All he wanted was sun, beach, and some peace. But peace was the last thing he was about to get. One morning, while sipping coconut water on Copacabana Beach, a group of excited fans approached him. "Luka, Neymar is hosting a charity football match tomorrow. You should come." Luka laughed, thinking it was just a friendly invitation. "Me? Football? I'll embarrass myself," he joked. But a few hours later, his phone buzzed with a message from a strange number. "Hey bro, it's Neymar. You in for tomorrow?" Luka blinked in disbelief. Was it really him, the real Neymar Jr.? Curiosity took over and he replied, "Why not? Just don't expect me to score." Neymar responded with laughing emojis and a thumbs up. The next day, Luka found himself walking into a crowded stadium. Cameras flashed, fans screamed, and Neymar ran up to greet him with a big grin. "Welcome to Brazil, brother. Ready to show us your football skills?" Luka chuckled nervously. "I can shoot, just not with my feet." Neymar laughed, handing him a pair of golden boots. "Then today's your first lesson." The whistle blew, and the chaos began. Luka tried to dribble, but his coordination betrayed him. The ball rolled between his legs, the crowd gasped, and Neymar tried not to laugh. Luka chased it, stumbled, and crashed into a defender twice his size. He got up, grinning sheepishly. The crowd cheered for his effort, but when Neymar passed him the ball again, Luka instinctively caught it with his hands like a basketball. The referee blew the whistle. Everyone froze, and then the entire stadium exploded in laughter. Luka looked confused for a moment before realizing what had done. "Sorry, habit," he shouted, throwing his hands up. Neymar fell to the ground, laughing so hard he couldn't breathe. It was only the first 10 minutes, and already Luka was the show's main attraction. By halftime, Luka was drenched in sweat and laughter. Every move he made seemed to turn into a comedy scene. When he tried to head the ball, it bounced off his shoulder. When he attempted a tackle, he accidentally tripped Neymar instead. The crowd wasn't just watching, they were in stitches. Neymar couldn't stop teasing him. "Bro, you play football like it's dodgeball." Luka laughed. "At least I'm entertaining." The announcers joined in, calling him Luka, the football menace. During the short break, Neymar sat beside him, handing him a water bottle. "You're doing great, man," he said with a wink. "Great at making people laugh." Luka smiled, shaking his head. "You're lucky I didn't bring my basketball. You'd be in trouble then." Neymar grinned. "Fair enough, but since you're here, you're scoring today, even if it's an own goal." They both laughed, not realizing how prophetic that line would be. When the second half began, Neymar dribbled beautifully past defenders and passed the ball perfectly toward Luka. The crowd rose to their feet. Luka's eyes widened as the ball came flying at him. He kicked with all his power, but the direction was completely wrong. The ball soared majestically, straight into his own net. The stadium went silent for half a second, then erupted in uncontrollable laughter. Luka froze, staring in disbelief. Neymar fell to the ground again, clutching his stomach, laughing until tears rolled down his face. Luka put his hands on his head, pretending to celebrate. "Goal is a goal," he shouted. The fans started chanting his name. "Luka! Luka!" He wasn't the best player on the pitch, but he was definitely the most unforgettable. The cameras were loving it. Social media exploded within minutes. Clips of Luka's accidental own goal flooded TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. "Basketball star forgets which goal is his." One caption read. But Luka wasn't done embarrassing himself yet. Moments later, Neymar earned a free kick just outside the box. He looked at Luka and said, "Your turn. Show us your magic." Luka laughed nervously. "You sure about this?" Neymar nodded. "You got this." Luka took a deep breath, placed the ball carefully, and ran up with confidence. The entire stadium watched in silence. He swung his foot hard, and the ball flew like a rocket straight into a camera on the sideline. The loud crack echoed through the arena. The cameraman ducked just in time. The ball smashed against a light post and bounced back toward the crowd. The silence broke instantly into roaring laughter. Neymar couldn't breathe. "You're trying to take out my media team now," he shouted between laughs. Luka threw his arms up, pretending to bow. "It's all part of the plan," he said, playing along with the chaos. The crowd was in love with his attitude. He wasn't angry or embarrassed. He was laughing at himself with everyone else. Neymar hugged him and said, "You might not score goals, but you're making history." Luka replied, "Just not the kind of history I was hoping for." That night, sports channels across the world aired clips of Luka's football debut. Analysts joked, fans made memes, and celebrities commented on his performance. But everyone agreed on one thing: he had made the game unforgettable. Even Neymar tweeted, "Luka Dončić. 0 goals, 100% entertainment." Luka replied, "Next time, I'll bring the basketball." The next morning, Luka woke up to thousands of notifications. His phone was buzzing non-stop. He scrolled through messages from teammates, friends, and fans. "You're a legend," one said. "We've never seen anyone enjoy failing so much." Luka laughed, shaking his head. Even his NBA teammates were teasing him in their group chat. One of them texted, "Stick to your day job, bro." Another added, "At least you didn't foul out." Luka decided to embrace it. He posted a picture of himself in the Brazil jersey with the caption, "Tried football, failed beautifully." The post went viral instantly. Later that day, Neymar called, "Hey, superstar, ready for a rematch?" Luka laughed, "No way. You'll have to pay me danger money next time." Neymar grinned through the phone, "But you brought joy, man. The crowd loved you." Luka smiled. "That's the point, right? Sports should make people happy." Neymar agreed, "Exactly, my friend. And you did that perfectly." A few days later, Neymar invited Luka to a small street football game with kids in his neighborhood. Luka joined, still clueless, but determined to try again. The kids cheered every time he touched the ball, even when he messed up. This time, something changed. Luka stopped worrying about looking bad. He just played, laughed, and had fun. And when he finally kicked the ball into the right net, the kids lifted him like a hero. Neymar clapped, saying, "See? You're learning." Luka grinned, "I told you I'd score eventually." By the time Luka returned to the US, his football adventure had become a global story. Talk shows, late-night hosts, and sports channels replayed his highlights with laughter and admiration. From NBA All-Star to football comedian, one headline said. But Luka didn't mind. He had discovered something important: that failure can be fun if you let it be. Reporters asked him at the airport, "Would you ever try football again?" Luka smiled, "Only if Neymar promises I won't score another own goal." The video of that interview went viral again. Kids across the world imitated his funny moves, calling them the Luka kick. It wasn't perfect, but it made people laugh, and that was better than perfection. Weeks later, Neymar sent him a signed football with a note, "For the man who brought joy to Brazil. Next time, we'll make you a forward." Luka placed it in his living room beside his NBA trophies. It wasn't about winning, it was about memories. The kind that make people smile years later. Months passed, and Luka was back in the NBA, dominating the court as usual. But during one timeout, the arena camera zoomed in on him, showing Neymar's Brazil jersey tucked under his warm-up shirt. The crowd roared with laughter. Luka waved and pointed at the camera, shouting, "Never forget the own goal." It became an inside joke among fans. Every time he scored in basketball, people shouted, "Finally the right goal." When Neymar visited Dallas, months later, they reunited courtside. The crowd cheered as the two hugged. Neymar whispered, "You still owe me a goal, bro." Luka laughed, "Not happening." But deep inside, both knew that what had started as a disaster had turned into friendship, laughter, and a story the world would never forget. Because sometimes, greatness isn't about how many goals you score. It's about how you handle your misses. Luka Dončić's football disaster with Neymar Jr. proved that joy, humility, and laughter can make even failure unforgettable. It wasn't the game he expected, but it became the story everyone loved.